Hello, Facebook world. I am so excited to be back here today. I don't know if you guys had the chance to go outside this morning, but it was nice and cool, and it just made me want to grab one of my Epic sweatshirts, which I haven't worn since last spring, but it was cool enough that I felt like, you know what, I'm putting it on today. And so before we get going, I know that there have been questions everywhere. Where do I find those awesome Epic shirts? And there's an Epic store. It's usually on our website. I know it's closed right now because it was open for the last month and a half, but there are awesome shirts like this one, guys, and so many others that you can get in our Epic store. And with fall coming, it may be time to update that wardrobe. Well, guys, today is a totally awesome topic. We are going to talk about who do you call? Who do you call for what? And so we've got a great panel of guests here today. I've got Bailey Gray and Danae Link, and they have been with Epic, and they're going to help me answer some of these questions that you have about who to call and when to call and where to call. You know, you just don't know. And sometimes when you call the number and they're like, oh, that's not this department, let's transfer you, and then let's transfer you, rather than get caught in some sort of, transfer chaos that will probably just tick you off even more if you got a real question. Hopefully we'll alleviate some of those things, and you know exactly who to call and where to call whenever the time comes. All right. And so let me start with our panel. Actually, let me start with, if you've been to one of our live chats, you know what to do. I need you to take that heart emoji in the live chat, and I need you to mash it like 5 times. Show me those heart emojis and let me know that you are here with us today. Where are you at, Facebook? Where are you at, Epic? Show me those heart emojis. All right, and now if you have never been to one of these live chats before, we want to be able to see you and say hello, hello, hello. Throw me the like emoji or the care emoji, like letting us know that you're here, and then we can see that you might be new here, so you're here for this exact purpose. Who are you gonna call? So show me those thumbs up or those cares if this is your first time that you've been here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love seeing that. So let me introduce our panel today. We have Danae Link and Bailey Gray, which I've already said. Danae, how long have you been at Epic, and what is your role here?
So I have had the opportunity to be at Epic since we opened 10 years ago. So I'm celebrating our 10-year anniversary. Grateful to be here, and I was able to serve as a teacher for 7 of those years, and I moved into a director of teacher development role 3 years ago, which is just a fancy way of saying that I have the opportunity to help train all of our new teachers. So instead of having students now, I have teachers and get to help bring them into the Epic family.
That is so awesome. Thank you so much for that, because it's a vital role. This world is so different. Even though we bring on certified teachers and then we're training up some new people to be certified teachers, the world of Epic is just completely different. So it's great to know that we've got people like you training up teachers in all things Epic. And Bailey, tell me who you are, how long have you been here, and what is your job here at Epic?
Well, like I said, my name is Bailey. I have been with Epic since May of 2018. I started as a communications specialist and basically kind of ran the phones, and then we ended up pioneering the live chat that is available on our website. Last spring, I was able to be promoted to customer service manager, and I hired 5 new customer service specialists, and they are the face of Epic. So anytime you call or live chat on our website, they're the ones who you talk to. And yeah, I'm really blessed to be here.
Okay, that is really cool. So that live chat, there are people behind it. You're not a robot.
Correct.
That's good to know. Yeah, there's a team of 5 plus Miss Bailey Gray answering those questions. And I know people, a lot of people praise that live chat, and a lot of people are like, is this real? Is there somebody on the other side? And it's great to have an actual face to match up with that live chat. So as you know, this conversation is who you're gonna call. And basically, we want to make sure that we're routing people in the right places. So again, people watching, if you have a live question, or if you have a real question, ask us and we will get you an answer right now. Like right now. Okay. And I see that there are 66 of you watching right now. I'm really excited about that. So ask those questions. Okay. So Bailey, there are some frequently asked questions that come through the chat. What are some of those frequently asked questions?
Well, we get a lot of questions from prospective families. So they'll ask questions about enrollment or just kind of about our school. So a pretty big chunk of questions, kind of make up that. But we also get a lot of questions from current students, parents, and sometimes even teachers. We'll get questions asking, how do I request a proof of enrollment letter or a transcript? And we'll get questions on, how do I contact my teacher, or how do I contact my principal? Who is my GSM, and how do I contact them? So we're kind of the stepping stone between, families and the employees at Epic.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I see some of those hearts and those cares and there's loves. So keep them coming. Larry, I see you. Brittany, I see you. I'm so glad you're here. And I'm so glad that you have chosen Epic. This is awesome. Amanda, hello. Tamika, this is so cool. Tamika, I've seen you in this chat before. And I know I see your question there. You're thinking about coming back to the world of teaching after a 6-year hiatus. And Tamika, you know what? We would love to be able to talk to you about that. Go apply. If it's something you're really thinking about, go and apply. But if you have a question, ask it here. Danae, Bailey, or I can help you with that. But we're super excited to see that you're thinking about coming to that world. Christina has a question. Christina says, my son's Epic portal says he has a duplicate curriculum and needs counselor review. How do I get that fixed? So that's a really great question, Christina. Thank you for asking. Your teacher can help with that. And what she's going to do is she's going to fill out, or he is going to fill out a ticket and send it to the GSM. And the GSM is going to remove that duplicate curriculum. And so that was just maybe a bot that did that. And so we're sorry that it's holding up, but we will get any extra charge taken off if there is a charge, and we'll get that grade book fixed. Don't you worry. Let me see. Roxana says, what is a GSM? That is a great question, Roxana. Danae, tell me, what is a GSM? And golly, we have so many different letters explaining so many different people. Do you want to throw a few of those out and let us know what those letters stand for?
Part of our new teacher training is just learning acronyms, because there are so many at Epic that they are constantly coming in needing to know what those are. A GSM is a graduation support manager. So that is what you are used to in a brick and mortar setting, being the school counselor. They're the ones that help provide the scheduling for our high school kids. They help with graduation requirements and making sure that our kids get across the graduation line. And they help work with the teacher to partner to make sure that all those requirements are met and that we have everybody scheduled in the proper classes that they need to graduate.
Awesome. And what are some of those other, we've got GSMs, we've got DTDs, that's you, you're a DTD. We have LF, we have, what are some more of those acronyms?
Really, if you're an Epic family, just start using the first initial of whatever you're talking about, and that seems to be how Epic determines acronyms, so you can feel like you're in the club if you just use acronyms. But we have MP will be mind play. A lot of teachers will refer to Dreambox as DB. We have DTDs, which are the directors of teacher development. We have DPDs that are the directors of principal development. We have MDIs that are the managing directors of instruction. We have an acronym for just about everything under the sun. I guess we're just kind of the tech savvy ones that try to shorten everything into an acronym.
Which can be confusing. What's that, Bailey?
And don't forget CSRs, customer service representatives.
That's
That's
right.
right. And that's who you talk to on the chat or on the telephone. That's great. Thank you so much for that, ladies. Let me see. Christina with a C wants to know, how soon will I get my Wi-Fi box? And Christina, that's a great question also. We submit those orders, and based on what county you're in, we have 3 different internet providers. And so depending on which provider, it's taking anywhere between a week to 3 weeks. We will get it to you though. If it's been longer than that, definitely reach out to us. You can email support@epiccharterschools.org, or you can even email me and I'll take care of that for you. I am erin.barnes@epiccharterschools.org, and I'll help you out with that as well. Let me see. Brittany says, we are new this year. Welcome, Brittany. This is exciting. How long does it usually take for things besides curriculum to get approved? We put something in on 9/7 and it still hasn't been approved. This is a great question. And I was going to have Chandler Winningham here, but he had another appointment today. So he gave me some answers because I knew that question was going to come. He just wanted to put things into perspective for us. So as of right now, Chandler and his team have already placed over 120,000 orders through the Learning Fund. 120,000 orders. And for what it's worth, there were 85,000 orders placed last year in total. So we have already well surpassed the quota that we are used to, but they are still pushing those through. He did say there are about 25,000 orders still pending, and he thought that those would be ordered before the end of next week. And so I hope that answers your question. We don't want to keep people waiting, but it's kind of one of those first come, first serve, and they just work down that list. And with 25,000 still pending, he did believe he would be through that list before the end of next Friday. So I hope that helps. Let me see here. Ashley wants to know, I just logged in, so I apologize if this has been discussed, but I still can't get into my son's email to access his courses. I've had a ticket for technical support for a week. All right, Ashley, this is a great question as well. And I'm going to reach in on the backside after this live chat and see what I can't figure out for you. But I do know that Gmail is kind of a persnickety little platform that wants to auto default when you log into something to the last Gmail entered. And so I have a personal Gmail, and both of my kids have their own school Gmail, and both of my kids have their own personal Gmail. So things can get a little crazy around here. Plus then there was my husband with his personal Gmail and his work Gmail. It's nuts around here with Gmail. But Gmail wants to use the last one that was logged in. So sometimes you have to really sign all the way out. Even though it says it's trying to, you have to sign all the way out to get to that. And so on the backside, I'm going to go through and see what I can figure out about your Gmail. And I might have to reach out to you through direct message. But definitely make sure you've signed out of everything everywhere before you try logging into that Gmail. And maybe that'll help. I did help a few families with that earlier this week. Carla wants to know, I have an associate's degree in administration. Are there any jobs I can do from home? And Carla, that's a great question. I honestly don't even know all the jobs we have available on our website right now. But if you go to epiccharterschools.org and then click on careers, it will bring up a whole host of jobs that we have available. And you can check through those to see if something's up your alley. And I hope that we can find a place for you. That would be awesome. Let me see. Roxana wants to know, what's the difference between the essentials and IXL? And that's a great question too. So IXL is a practice platform that is standards based. Okay. The Epic Essentials are gap filling platforms. And so the Epic Essentials typically have a pre-assessment that go along with it. And then they automatically assign lessons to your kiddo based on kind of the needs to get your kiddo to grade level. IXL is a platform that you use to practice the standards that you've already you're working on for this year. You can practice past standards, so that's there, but it's typically used to reinforce the standards that we are currently using, and also sometimes it serves as a formative assessment or an exit ticket, depending on the teacher and the way they want to use those. And so hopefully that answered your question. They're all learning tools that we use, but they kind of serve different purposes. Omni wants to know, will the iPads be delivered anytime soon? And that is a great question too, based on when the order came through. Again, those are kind of a work through the list, first in, first out. I can definitely look into that and see where that order is, but I don't know on the technical side of things. We'll see if we can't post an update to this live event with some more information about that from the support department. Let me see here. Holly says, for those having technical issues accessing their curriculum, did we find out when the official cutoff date would be to change curriculum without incurring extra cost? Teacher was unsure how that was going to be handled. And so this is actually, down to the wire, Holly, of this live event going. We were still trying to get that answer. And basically, Epic has no curriculum of their own. We have teachers that create things within Google Classroom and different things that we create. But as far as the core curriculum that's approved by the state of Oklahoma, we have to outsource to third-party vendors for that. Those vendors decide whether we can recycle licenses, or if once the license is purchased, it's purchased. And so we're still trying to work through the details of that. And I'm sorry that there isn't any more information. I do know that it's typically 10 days from the time of which approved. And so we are still within that 10-day window as of today for a lot of families, but going into next week, I just don't have an answer for you, Holly, and I do feel sorry about that. We will try to post an update for you on that as soon as we've got one. But that's a great question, Holly. Jessica wants to know, what is the average amount of time it takes for tickets about curriculum to be resolved? My child is still missing semester A language arts, and a ticket was put in Monday. Jessica, that's a great question. I know that well, depending on what grade your kiddo is, and maybe you can post that for me as well, or throw it in the comments and let me know. But depending on the grade level of the kiddo, sometimes, especially in non-mathematic classes, and maybe history you probably want to see in order. But if it's a science or an English, you may be able to start that semester B to get some progress going and not feel like you're hanging out without it messing up or disrupting the child's actual learning process or gains. So I hope that helps. But as far as when they're coming through, I do know that they're taking about 3 days to 4 days to clear out their tickets, just because of the large volume of tickets. And a lot of that has had to do with some of the curriculum having glitches, and some of it is just a loading issue. So hopefully we get that resolved for you ASAP. Carla says, my senior has 2 electives that he does not need. When can we see those removed? And so, Carla, we have to be able to offer your kiddo 6 classes every single semester. I don't think that they'll be removed because that is us offering them for it, but just make sure you're focusing on everything you need to do for graduation purposes. Okay, I thought I had a little bit of a glitch there, but we're back. Okay, let me see here. Jennifer says, we are new this year too. Jennifer, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. She says, we are doing Pathblazer. It says Odyssey. I can see that it's adaptive right now. Help the teacher said it looks right, but I'm not sure. Okay, so this is a really tricky one because Pathblazer was purchased by Edgenuity, okay? And last year, it was called Compass Learning Odyssey. And a lot of you traditional homeschool folks that have come here to Epic to grab the public school option might know this curriculum as Time for Learning. Okay, so it's got several different names, but at the end of the day, Edgenuity purchased the curriculum. Pathblazer is their super adaptive way of moving through things, but we still have access to the Compass content through that as well. And so if you want to do Pathblazer and Compass at the same time, you will work through Pathblazer, but ask your teacher to turn on or open up the Compass lessons as well. Danae, do you have anything to add to that?
I think it's just really important to know to be in communication with your teacher. There might be a reason that she has you in one or the other, and just talk to your teacher about that. Every little thing that comes up like this, if you will communicate with your teacher, we can almost always resolve it. And the great thing about my role and my team's role is that if you have a new teacher who isn't certain, they have us right behind them to help them get the answer for you. So we are all here to work together to get your kids doing the best that they can do. So just communicate with your teacher and she'll be able to help make sure you're in the right place.
Thank you. Good point. Teachers are a great resource, and yes, always stay in communication there. Let me see here. Nicole wants to know, where are you guys on Learning Fund orders, which I kind of just got to, but specifically speaking, her kiddo's waiting on teaching textbooks to be approved. So with some of our vendors, we know that they prefer a giant purchase order. And so sometimes you may have ordered teaching textbooks maybe 3 weeks ago, not 3 years ago. But we know that it's a best practice to wait until the end of August for all of those teaching textbook orders to go through. And so they'll place one giant order, and then they'll let the September order, they are not going to wait till the end of September, I'm sure, but they'll probably wait for 2 more weeks to allow another giant order to be submitted to teaching textbooks, because as far as the way they process their stuff on their end, they prefer large purchase orders versus one at a time, like Amazon is easier to do. So I hope that helps you, Nicole. Brandy wants to know, when will we receive the actual books from Fuel Ed? And so, Brandy, I have seen parents getting those all week long. That is another one where they make a large purchase order. And so for what it's worth, Chandler did tell me, so Fuel Ed, for what it's worth, there are 2 platforms through them as well. We have Learn Anywhere A+, okay? And that one, if you choose that option, it is not going to come with books and such. That one is their Anywhere option, where it is virtual only. The Fuel Ed platform is the one that has the books and such. And he said that order has gone in, so we're receiving them all over the place. I mean, I saw an unpacking post yesterday in the parent Facebook group. It was super fun. They were like, here's 3rd grade English language arts. And she opened the box and the kid was digging in to see all this awesome stuff. And it was really awesome. Like, I got overwhelmed. But he said that they're working with K-12 right now because that curriculum, both of those options are owned by K-12. You don't have to use their platform. You don't have to use their rigid timeline, but the curriculum itself, we recognize is great content. And so we purchase it from them. He said, we've got an agreement started right now where we will be able to look into gaining access to that 3rd-party shipping system. And I was looking at my notes to make sure I got it right. So it looks like we'll be able to, in the future, see going out, but we just don't have access to it right this moment. But they're coming. It's on its way, Brandy. Amanda wants to know, she says, I have a senior who is on pace to finish by December. What will graduation look like for seniors? He is new to Epic. And Amanda, we have an amazing graduation ceremony every May. Now, if you want that diploma early, we can get that diploma for you in December, but the graduation ceremony itself is in May. And other than this last May, where everything had to go online, we did a great graduation ceremony online. We host a giant, beautiful graduation ceremony, and both of you guys have had your hands in that graduation ceremony. Can you, Danae, speak to the graduation ceremony itself?
I think the graduation at Epic is unique because we get to celebrate all varieties of kids, and all kids that get to that graduation mark are so important. And for different families, those might be milestones in that family. So we try to make graduation as special as we can for every single kid who's accomplishing this goal, as well as their family, because it's a big thing to celebrate. You as mom, getting him to the finish line of graduation of high school is such a thing to celebrate, and we do that really, really well. When we offer it live, we've had different locations. So if you are in the Tulsa area, your graduation would be in the Tulsa area. If you're closer to the Oklahoma City area, it would be here. But it's a big to-do, just like the brick and mortars do. And really, it's more special because our kids have chosen to be here for a variety of reasons, and we get to celebrate each of those graduates as they walk across the stage.
Yes. Yes, and Bailey, you are a part of getting those actual diplomas out. Tell me about that. What does that undertaking look like for you?
So after the graduation ceremony, we usually wait until the end of June or so because seniors have a little bit more time to finish up all of their classes and everything like that. And then we place a giant order with a company called Herff Jones for our seniors and our past graduates. They're familiar with that company because that's where they order their caps and gowns and any other graduation memorabilia that they may have. So we place the giant order, and then it pretty much takes the entire communications team to get those sent out, because I know this past year we had several thousand graduates, and I'm sure next year it'll be even bigger. But yeah, we send those out. This past year, we didn't have an in-person graduation ceremony, so we mailed out diploma covers and programs and everything like that. In the in-person years, we hand those out at graduation, and yeah, we just love celebrating our grads.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And you guys are amazing for being a part of that process. I get to go and show up and look at all the smiles and achievement on those faces, and it's amazing. Let me see here. We've got a few more questions before we get to the end of this time. Jeremy wants to know, do we have to use the scheduled homework help if we don't need it? It wouldn't let us complete orientation until we set up a day and time. No, Jeremy, if you don't need it, you do not need to use it. We do ask that everybody try it out, even if you've tried it out in the past. So for what it's worth, FEV Tutor is a company set out of Boston, Massachusetts. The company is dedicated to helping our school. We're one of the largest schools that take place in here. And so here's the thing. I've seen a lot of people say, oh, we hate this program. If you hate the program, which is totally fine, tell them you hate the program and tell them why. Be specific, because their average rating is 4.7. And for the people that kind of grumble, it makes us pause and say, well, what was wrong? Because everybody's rating these tutors so highly. And I think they're moving past that screen. But definitely let FEV know what they can do to help you and your kiddo. If you don't need it, no, you don't have to do it. But we do ask everybody to try it because they have made so many different changes year over year over year. From what it looked like when we brought them here 6 years ago, everything is so completely different. So we do ask that you give it a try each year. We don't make you use the program. We will say if you need help and it's outside of like your teacher's time, maybe it's 10 o'clock at night, hit up homework help. But it's not a mandated thing or anything like that. Seja says it's our first year. Welcome. It is our first year and we are loving this so much. Our teacher has this epic thing down. I love it. My question is not about curriculum. Are there school shirts or school pictures available? Yes, Seja, that's a great question too. So I am wearing one of the school shirts. This one came from the school store that is on our Epic website, and it's closed right now. It will open back up soon. They just put in an order. If you go back to the panel, I know that Bailey is wearing one of our Epic shirts as well. Yep, there she is. And so and I've got an Epic, I could wear an Epic t-shirt every day of the week for 3 weeks, I think, and have a different design every day. So I'm kind of a t-shirt addict. So I have a lot of those t-shirts. Yes, Seja, we have those. As far as school pictures, we've got a lot of parents on the parent Facebook page that have said that they're willing to do school pictures for people. But we're in 77 counties. It would be really hard to get school pictures lined up without making some people drive 5 and 6 hours to come get those. But I hope that helps. I just got word that the school store is open now. So go get those t-shirts. And that's it. Guys, it is 12:31. I am so sorry. There is one last question, and so I'm going to get to it. Michelle wants to know, are they going to have a prom this year, and will it be affordable? Michelle, they work really hard to keep that affordable. It is Epic parents and Epic students putting on those proms. I know they've got one in OKC and one in Tulsa. And so if you're in the Epic parent support pages, just keep an eye on that and look out for it. That is not an Epic event. Yes, Bailey, you've got something to add for the
I was going to say, I do. I know that in past years, the tickets have been around $50 if you participate in the dinner, I believe. And I believe the price goes down a little bit if you just want to do like the dance afterwards. There is a website. It's called epicpromok.com. I don't know if it's updated for this current year. So that could be, old information, but I know in years past, every single year they update that website. And just keep an eye on it. You can also live chat with us. And as soon as we have more information, we'll be able to give that to you. You can always ask. And if we don't have new info, we'll just tell you to, check back later. But yeah, just keep an eye out, and I'm sure more information will be available soon.
Excellent. And somebody asked what the back of my shirt says. I actually don't know. Will somebody read it to her? Can you see it?
It says Epic Charter.
Epic Charter. There you go. All right, guys. Well, that is all the time we have. Oh, what's that?
Mine's an Epic shirt too that was for our test site. So it has Epic on the back as well. Just very specific to where we did state testing. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is so awesome. Thank you. That is all the time we have for today. Thank you for tuning into another live Facebook Q&A. We will be back next week, next Friday at noon, talking about some more opportunities for high school kids. Guys, did you know your kids can earn an associate's degree in high school? Did you know we have all kinds of opportunities like the TEL class, which is Oklahoma Christian bringing this to us. And we also have the Epic News Network. And so we're going to talk way more specifically about some of those things next week. We hope to see you next Friday. Until then, thank you so much for making Epic a top workplace to learn and to work.